Every single day I sit across from people who are suffering. Successful executives, loving parents, brilliant artists. And you know what I see over and over again? The same invisible prison. They're all trapped by a belief system they don't even know they have. Your mindset is either your greatest ally or your silent executioner. And most people, they're being slowly destroyed by thoughts they think are protecting them. After 15 years of therapy sessions, thousands of hours listening to human pain, I've identified the one mindset shift that separates those who heal from those who stay stuck. Change your mind, change your life. This isn't motivational fluff. This is the clinical reality I witness every day. And today, I'm going to show you exactly what that mindset is, why you probably don't have it yet, and how to develop it before another decade passes you by. The fixed trap. Let me tell you about the most dangerous sentence I hear in my office. It's not "I'm depressed" or "I'm anxious." It's this: "That's just who I am." Whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right. Carol Dweck, a Stanford psychologist, spent decades researching why some people thrive after failure while others crumble. She discovered something profound. It comes down to whether you believe your abilities are fixed or can grow. The fixed mindset says your intelligence, your personality, your capacity for love, it's all set in stone. You either have it or you don't. And here's the tragedy. This belief becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. You stop trying because you've already decided the outcome. I've watched brilliant people sabotage their careers because they were terrified of being exposed as frauds. They'd rather not try than risk confirming their deepest fear, that they are fundamentally inadequate. The fixed mindset doesn't protect you. It imprisons you in a cell of your own making. But what if I told you there's another way to see yourself entirely? Growth revolution. The growth mindset isn't positive thinking. It's not pretending you're great when you're not. It's something far more radical. The belief that your fundamental qualities can be developed through effort, strategy, and input from others. Your brain is not a fixed machine, but a living organ that rewires itself. Neuroscience has proven this. We call it neuroplasticity. Your brain literally changes shape based on what you do and think. London taxi drivers have larger hippocampi than the rest of us because they've spent years navigating complex streets. Musicians have enhanced motor cortices. Your brain is not finished. It's a work in progress. But here's what most people get wrong about growth mindset. It's not about effort alone. Banging your head against a wall harder won't break it down. The growth mindset is about believing that intelligent effort, learning, adapting, seeking feedback leads to mastery. Now that you see this pattern, hit like and subscribe to keep exploring the depths of your psyche with me. There's so much more to uncover. And the next distinction changes everything about how you handle failure. Failure reframe. Here's where the growth mindset becomes truly powerful. It completely transforms your relationship with failure. In a fixed mindset, failure is an identity. You didn't just fail, you are a failure. The shame is unbearable because it confirms what you secretly feared about yourself. Failure is feedback, not identity. In a growth mindset, failure is information. It's data. It tells you what doesn't work so you can find what does. I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. I had a client once, a surgeon, who made a mistake that nearly cost a patient's life. With a fixed mindset, she would have quit medicine forever, drowning in shame. Instead, she asked herself, what can I learn? What systems failed? How do I make sure this never happens again? That question, what can I learn, is the growth mindset in action. It doesn't excuse failure. It doesn't minimize pain, but it refuses to let failure be the final word. Learn. And this leads us to something even more fundamental about how you talk to yourself. The inner critic. You know that voice in your head, the one that says you're not good enough, smart enough, worthy enough. That voice has a growth mindset or a fixed mindset, and most people's inner critics are brutally fixed. They speak in absolutes. You always mess this up. You'll never get it right. You're so stupid. These aren't observations. They're condemnations. But here's what I teach my clients. Your inner critic isn't evil. It's scared. It learned long ago that if it beats you up first, maybe the world won't hurt you as badly. It thinks it's protecting you. The inner critic is a frightened child in adult clothing. The growth mindset transforms your inner voice from a judge into a coach. Instead of "you're so stupid," it asks what would help you understand this better. Instead of "you always fail," it says "you haven't mastered this yet." That word "yet" is the most powerful word in the growth mindset vocabulary. I'm not good at this. Yet. I don't understand. Yet. Not yet, not yet. Speaking of transformation, let me show you what happens in the brain when you make this shift. Brain chemistry. This isn't just psychology. The growth mindset literally changes your brain chemistry. When you approach a challenge with a fixed mindset, your brain releases cortisol, the stress hormone. Your amygdala lights up like a fire alarm. Your prefrontal cortex, the thinking part, actually shuts down. You go into threat mode. But when you approach that same challenge with a growth mindset, something remarkable happens. Your brain releases dopamine, the motivation molecule. Your prefrontal cortex stays online. You can actually think. The brain is a muscle. It gets stronger with use. Studies using EEG technology show that people with growth mindsets have stronger neural responses to corrective feedback. Their brains literally pay more attention to information that can help them improve. Your beliefs about yourself shape your brain's actual architecture. Fixed mindset brains scan for threat. Growth mindset brains scan for opportunity. Same world, completely different experience. And this brings us to one of the most important applications: how this plays out in relationships. Love and growth. Want to know the #1 predictor of relationship success? It's not compatibility. It's not attraction. It's whether both partners have a growth mindset about the relationship itself. Love is a skill. Fixed mindset in relationships sounds like this: if we were meant to be, it wouldn't be this hard. My partner should just know what I need. People don't change. These beliefs are relationship killers. Growth mindset in relationships sounds different. Every conflict is a chance to understand each other better. Love is a skill we can develop together. We're both works in progress. I've seen couples on the brink of divorce transform their marriages, not because they changed partners, but because they changed their beliefs about what's possible. The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. When both people believe they can grow, conflicts become growth opportunities instead of evidence that something is fundamentally broken. But this extends far beyond romance. Let me show you how it affects your entire social world. Social rewiring. The growth mindset transforms how you see everyone around you. With a fixed mindset, people are categories: smart or dumb, good or bad, friend or enemy. You judge quickly and update slowly. Everyone you meet is fighting a battle you know nothing about. With a growth mindset, people are processes. That difficult coworker might be dealing with trauma you can't see. That critical parent might be operating from fears they never examined. This doesn't mean accepting bad behavior. It means understanding that behavior comes from somewhere and people can change. Here's what's fascinating. Research shows that teachers with growth mindsets about their students produce dramatically better outcomes. Not because they are easier graders, but because they see potential where others see limitations. The same is true for managers, parents, and friends. When you believe others can grow, you treat them differently. You give better feedback. You offer more support. See potential, not limitation. You become an environment where growth is possible. And this brings us to perhaps the most challenging application: trauma healing. I need to address something important. The growth mindset is not toxic positivity. It's not just think positive and your trauma will disappear. Real trauma requires real healing, often with professional support. The wound is the place where the light enters you. But here's what I've observed. The growth mindset provides the foundation that makes trauma work possible. When you believe you're permanently damaged by what happened to you, you've foreclosed healing before it begins. When you believe you can integrate and grow from even the worst experiences, you open a door. Healing, post-traumatic growth is a real phenomenon. Research shows that many trauma survivors don't just return to baseline, they surpass it. They develop deeper empathy, stronger relationships, greater appreciation for life. You are not broken beyond repair. You are growing through the pain. This doesn't make trauma good. It doesn't mean everything happens for a reason. It means that human beings have an incredible capacity for growth, even from the depths of suffering. The growth mindset doesn't minimize your pain. It refuses to let your pain have the final word. Now let me show you the daily practice that makes this real. Daily practice. The growth mindset isn't a switch you flip once. It's a practice. It's a muscle you build through repetition. So let me give you the concrete tools I teach my clients. 1. Catch the fixed voice. Notice when you think in absolutes. 2. Add the word YET. I can't do this becomes I can't do this yet. 3. Praise effort over outcome. Celebrate the trying, not just winning. 4. Reframe challenges as opportunities. Ask what can I learn? Every night ask yourself 2 questions. What did I struggle with today? What did that struggle teach me? Struggle equals growth. This isn't about pretending difficulty feels good. It's about finding meaning in the difficulty. It's about recognizing that the things worth doing are rarely easy. It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that things are difficult. Start small. Pick one area of your life where you felt stuck. Apply the growth lens. Watch what happens. But there's one final piece that makes all of this work. Becoming free. Here's the deepest truth about the growth mindset. It's not really about achievement. It's about freedom. The growth mindset liberates you from the prison of your own limitations. When you no longer need to prove yourself, you can finally focus on improving yourself. When failure isn't an identity threat, you can take risks that fixed mindset people never will. When you believe others can grow, you can forgive in ways that seemed impossible. I've watched people transform their entire lives with this single shift, not because they suddenly became smarter or more talented, but because they stopped being at war with themselves. They stopped living in fear of being exposed as inadequate. They started living in excitement about who they might become. Your only limit is the belief that you have limits. After 15 years as a therapist, this is the most helpful mindset I see. Not because it makes everything easy, but because it makes everything possible. You can change, you can grow. The question isn't whether you can develop a growth mindset. The question is whether you will. Everything I've shared with you today comes down to this. Your beliefs about yourself shape your reality. The fixed mindset keeps you trapped in a version of yourself that was never the final draft. The growth mindset opens the door to continuous evolution. The only person you are destined to become is the person you decide to be. You are not your past failures. You are not your current limitations. You are not the labels others have given you or the stories you've told yourself. You are a process. You are becoming. And as long as you're breathing, you can still grow. If you made it this far, comment growth activated if you're ready to break free from fixed thinking. Welcome to the Psyche Project. If this gave you something to think about, subscribe for more. Understanding yourself is the work of a lifetime. See you in the next video.